this might sound a bit bizarre, but, you know, for me, life includes, you know, death, and I find the whole thing truly exciting. It's not something that scares me.
Can you explain to me how to do that? Because I've been always, every time when I was a kid, when someone would ask me what my biggest fear was, I would always say death.
Right.
And until now, it's still, I mean, this is my biggest fear, and I'm super terrified.
So
and
what's
I'm
the
not sure
fear?
how to change that.
What is the fear?
Just the fact that you will be gone and you don't know that you're gone, so that for eternity you just don't know anything.
Ah, okay. But you've attached something to that whereby you've got a belief that when you've gone, you don't know that you've gone.
I mean, I think so. I used to be an Orthodox Christian, and I still wear a cross, but I read some of the Richard Dawkins' work, and he changed my mind.
Yeah, yeah. So personally, I don't follow any religion.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about this yesterday, literally as I was strolling along the beach. I was brought up a sort of loose Catholic, but didn't hold anything for me. I questioned it at every stage. In fact, the day I left the church was the day I got confirmed. So, you know, that was interesting in itself. Interesting conversation with the bishop that actually made me realise it was time to go. And I just listen. I accept that as a human being, we have extraordinary belief systems, but they are all belief systems. So I don't have an answer as to whether there's a God, whether there's life beyond, blah blah blah. I don't. You know, I've had quite bizarre experiences that, on the face of it, you could say, well, of course there is, because, you know, this has been somebody communicating with you and blah blah. And I mean, really bizarre. Telling me stuff about somebody that I didn't know, who I was then told to phone up that I did, and then gave details which only, you know, she could know. So I don't have any rational explanation for that. But I don't get tied up in terms of, you know, what goes on afterwards, because I don't see the point. I just see that the only thing that I can do is to live this life here as fully as I possibly can. And, you know, when I'm gone, I don't know, obviously, what is on the other side. And that, to me, is what makes it exciting. So I don't have any expectations. I can't see the point. But it's the excitement of going into another stage. Now, it may be that it's just like turning off the TV and going, you know, there won't even be a, that was disappointing. There'll just be a, right, the TV's off. In which case, fine. If I've lived my life fully now, then great. But when you put something on there by going, okay, so when I go, then I'm not going to know that I've gone, and then it sounds like you're lost in eternity, which to me would be terrifying. Yeah. So you've attached a belief around that. But the fact of the matter is that we don't just know. But I tell you, the bizarre thing is that I tell you what I don't believe is that we're then. I actually don't believe your belief. I cannot believe that we're then going to be left kind of zooming around eternity, not knowing we exist, and blah blah blah. I kind of have it that, well, either way, we're at peace. You know, it's either the end and that's it permanently. There's no experience of anything, or you know, we're some kind of energy, and that's fine too.
Then what about then talking about technology? Because to me, technology can kind of prolong your life in two ways, right? One is prolong the life expectancy, right? With you know, the potentially you know, AI algorithm or machine, you know, testing the new drugs, testing the new chemicals, and potentially helping with you know, curing some of the diseases that prolong the life expectancy. And then the other side is to import your consciousness into a computer or a code. To me, who is super scared of death, that seemed like scared of death in a way that I'm scared of not existing anymore and just kind of being left out from the party forever, which I think is really unfair.
That's so cool. Left out from the party. That's great.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's like you just have to leave, and then there's nothing you can do. So to me,
but here's the thing: why are you wasting time being scared about what's going to happen when you go? Because when you're doing that, then that straightway gets in the way of enjoying it while you have it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I constantly catch myself at that, and I'm not like panicking. As in, if I had to unpack what I think about, this probably would be it. So, you know, on a dark night when I'm just about to fall asleep. It's not like every day I'm just super paranoid. But what do you think about the concept of, you know, because even now, when you die, you have, you know, gigabytes and gigabytes of data left from what you have kind of amassed during your lifetime, and that's,
Yes.
you know, the films you watched, the books you read, the stuff you
Yes.
bought on Amazon, your internet search history, God forbid, and stuff like that. So there is some part of you still left, and that's only kind of increasing. So that the other extreme of that is to actually copy the neural architecture of your brain.
Yeah.
So that, for example, let's say, you know, for example, if I die, then my sister can know if I would have liked the movie that just came out or the book that just came out.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is this kind of screwing with the nature a bit and the natural order, the fact that there is something left?
Well, there's no doubt that it is, because by definition, you know, we haven't packaged anything up before. I also think that it's it's a phenomenal question, because when I look at and when I kind of follow what I'm hearing going on, you know, Elon Musk, for instance, you know, he's apparently spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a company, and he's looking to create something. I can't remember, it's called the neural necklace or something like that, but there's the possibility that, you know, where smartphones are going to go is that actually, you know, first of all, rather than having a processing chip, you actually have a liquid. So the liquid is what does all the computing and the processing, and he's talked about, so, you know, our nervous system has got loads of excess capacity, so why not inject it into the nervous system? So you're talking about a combination of technology and human. You're actually talking about you know, a new species, if you will. They're also
transhumanism is the movement.
Yeah, and they're talking about now the fact that you can store all the information in the planet in DNA. Well, if you can store it in DNA, well, then guess what? You can store that in the body. So the way I see it is that is definitely going to happen. That you're then going to have, as is the case now, you're going to have different groups of people who are going to love it, hate it, and the bulk of people who will blankly accept it, because, in my view, the bulk of people don't truly think for themselves. I think that's changing, but en masse, you will find that people just go, oh, okay. And there will be advantages to it, for sure. I mean, can you imagine not needing to go to school to learn French or whatever? You just kind of, I don't know, twiggle your nose and suddenly you're speaking French fluently. So that is going to be extraordinary. And to me, this is the huge question, is that if you enhance the human ability to computate and learn so that it's push button, and also, you know, if that is, as I'm in no doubt, is going to be happening and is happening in the work mode, then I'm curious about, well, what does that then enable the human being to do? Because I kind of have this hunch that for those people that are clear and aware that there is an extraordinary opportunity to move away from all the busy work stuff and move into far more being, which might sound like a bit of a crass phrase, but I think that's where we're moving.